But this is a great question. Why would I want to teach this course? Because since I came back to teach at the Captain Normal University, I helped to revise English manuscripts for many of my graduate students and even my colleagues. And I found that English is really problematic. So I always want to come up with a course that would specifically address these issues to improve their proficiency in English writing. I know that the students, including some of my junior colleagues, they used translation devices to write their English paper first. All I can tell you is that it's constructive in the beginning, but it's definitely destructive in the end. You know why? Because the translation devices will not be able to give you the kind of discipline-specific vocabulary or writing a professional journal article would demand or expect to have. So translation devices cannot do the work. For this course, I even coined or create a new term. It's called a TBE. That stands for Translation-Based English Writing. And in my first talk, I talked about why TBE writing fails you. Because more than likely, when you present your manuscript to an editor with TBE writing, you're gonna upset the editor immediately. Because there's a lot of sentence clumsiness, which is another term I coined for this course. Clumsy, really look awful. Clumsiness means, or sentence clumsiness means the sentence is full of grammatical, idiomatic errors, problems, so it doesn't read well. So for all these purposes, I want to teach this course, and I'm very grateful for my university, Captain Normal University, the graduate school, for supporting me to make this course, or funding me to make this course, and also I'm very grateful for 学堂在线 for helping me to achieve this goal and this dream. And with this course ready, I'm delighted, and I hope this course will really and truly help you to write good English. And this will be a good start for you. I hope this will answer your question. Well, this is also a good question who I would recommend this course to. I can tell you 3 groups of people. First, graduate students, because they are expected to publish their works, academic works in English. It's not a skill that they're automatically equipped with. You need to profess or practice on it. And you cannot take shortcut like translation devices, as I said earlier. Because in the beginning, it may serve you. In the end, it creates huge trouble or problem for you because the English is not appropriate. So for those graduate students, you take my course, at least you know the do's and don'ts for writing good English for discipline-based academic journals. So that's the first group. The second group, I would recommend my course to students of language, particularly those students who study or major in English. Or language students, you take English as your second major. Because this will help you to learn something functional. As a listening material, you can listen to my course with subtitle added and without subtitles added. And this will progress, and this will practice your listening comprehension. I'm not saying my English is perfect or my pronunciation is really good. At least it's good enough for you to sustain your interest to listen. So I would recommend those language students to take this course, even though it may be something far and away. But learning to publish is an essential skill for all students, whether undergrad students or postgraduate students, particularly for doctor students, to possess, to profess, to practice. You better start early. The third, I would recommend this course to some junior teachers or just new teachers of different disciplines. It serves two purposes. Number one, it's about how to publish. You're going to learn this or need it anyway. On the other hand, it's about English. You need to improve your command of English, particularly your listening comprehension and your oral English. And I imagine that my course will be of assistance to you. So I hope this course will serve these purposes, and I hope you will like my course. At least in making this course, or preparing for this course, I have prepared a lot of stories. I hope these stories will be entertaining to you, such that you'll remember my stories long after you have taken this course. Okay, this is a good question. What tips would I give you? First of all, in my lectures or in my talks, I would give tips or do's and don'ts in each lecture. So what tips would I give for taking this course? 3 tips. Number 1, please prepare a pen. You're going to take some notes, and you're going to write down something, or even for your own thinking, draw down some notes. So you prepare a pen. Now with a pen, you also need, second, a piece of paper. Or if you want to put this together, you want to have a notebook specifically for this course. So you listen and you take notes. This will help you to understand what I'm saying in this course. And third advice I want to give you is I would recommend you listen to my talk periodically. Means every now and then. Because at least I'm lecturing this course entirely in English. This will help you to improve your listening comprehension. Imagine that you will need to go overseas to study, whether you will see North America like United States or Canada, or in Europe like England and Germany, or in the Pacific area, that is the Australia, New Zealand, or whatever English-speaking countries that you'll be studying with. You need to practice on your listening with academic purposes. It's not just the regular IELTS or test of English practices. That's for general. This is for a particular specific goal for writing skills. And if you have this in mind, you're taking my course, it will serve your future studies. You can take my course as a preparation for your overstudies. That's going to happen in months or in years. So I imagine my course will help you for your great prospects in the future. All right, this is also an interesting question. How do I feel about making this course? I feel very gratified because, as I said, I really want to make this course. But then, thanks to both the graduate school of my university, Capital Normal University, as well as 学堂在线, I'm able to make my dream come true, to finally achieve this goal. And in this making process, I have to constantly ask myself, what new stuff I can tell to the students, because writing course, you've taken this course at each university, there's probably more than one teacher who take this course, who teach this course. So what am I going to make my course special or unique compared with others? Let me tell you three things. First of all, this course is entirely taught in English. That's tough, that's challenging, but that is true to the reality of writing and speaking in a foreign environment or in English-speaking environment. So it's totally lectured in English. That's the first. The second, instead of talking about the theories or the formats of writing, I just give you tips. So that's very practical, very goal-oriented, very useful that you take these tips. Okay, and also to help with that, I give you exercises, I give you illustrations, whichever I demonstrate, whether it was called error detection numbness or sentence clumsiness or writing readiness. And out of this, I'm just giving you a lot of demonstrations. I'm sure this will help you understand what I mean by all these terms. And thirdly, I prepare stories, cases of writing, whether it was from Archimedes or from Karl Marx or from Albert Einstein or my own experiences or even from my daughter, my colleague, and how to write, the craft and the draft of writing, the joy and misery of writing, how to overcome, how to be accomplishing in this writing process. And this is what I believe, what I try to make my course different from other courses. And I feel very gratified with what I could do with this course. And once again, I'm very grateful for the Graduate School of Capital Normal University, as well as for 学堂在线 for making this course a good success, at least in my mind. Who else would I recommend this course to? That's also a good question. Well, apart from the graduate students, the language students, the junior teachers, I also imagine this course will be for high school students or for students who study language before they attend university. You know why? Because I imagine the students can take my course as a supplementary listening materials for their listening comprehension practices. And I imagine people would take part of my teaching as their teaching material for illustration. So I have a much bigger dream for the audience of this course, the high school students. All the students who study English, they can take my course. So this is one group of population. There is another group, which is just international students. After all, there are now add up together about 1 million international students or foreign students who take courses at Chinese universities. And they also need to publish. Of course, they are more likely to be expected to publish in Chinese, but still they want to publish in English. And I'm saying something which they have to practice or profess for their own university courses. Say they come to China for a semester or for a year as an exchange student. When they go back to university, they also have to present their academic accomplishments in written English, or they might be expected to publish their works in English, and my course would the same purposes as they would do it at their own universities. So in other words, I would have a big eye for the use of this course. Anyway, to cut it short, I hope you'll enjoy this course because I have a lot of tips for what you could do to write good English for your academic purposes. I also have good stories to share with you about how to overcome all kinds of problems or difficulties in writing. I also demonstrate the passion I have for how to write in English. For myself, I've written articles, books, chapters, monographs in English, and I really want to help you as a starter, as a beginner, as a fresh writers to progress, to profess this writing skill at a fast or accelerating speed. That's my wish. And having said all of this, I truly wish you good luck for your good writing in English. This stands for good luck and good fortune. Thank you for listening to me and for taking this course. We will meet sooner or later, as we say in Chinese, 后会有期。